Upon its announcement at E3 last year, Daemon X Machina has been a game that I've been fascinated with looking more into. There's a lot of legendary talent involved in this game, including Shoji Kawamori, the famed mech designer from the Macross series, and a bunch of other titles like Pat Labor and Macross. I just said Macross. Don Gaia was what I meant to say. Character designer Kazaki Yusuke also does the character designs for this. The soundtrack implements a lot of metal and fast rock, so that gets your blood pumping. Anyways, the Nintendo Switch released a demo for this. As of this recording today, Nintendo Switch released a demo for it February 13th called the Prototype Missions, and this really is the Armored Core game that I've been asking for, at least in its current state right now. I played it for about an hour, and they give you a handful of missions and an introductions into some of the characters, and so far everything about this game feels incredibly promising. If you're familiar with the Armored Core series, you could probably jump right into this and feel right at home. And if you're new to it, the controls aren't too overly complicated. One of the things I've been impressed with the most is the personalization of designing the characters to begin with. If there was one real caveat that I had with the Armored Core games in the past, is that there was something impersonal about it. Like, yes, you designed your mecha, and you would accept missions, but it was really just that. You would just accept the missions, and it would be bare bones. There wasn't a great deal of substance to it. This game looks to change that, and more than just having a character design that will just serve as your avatar, there's a lot of personal attributes that you can spin into this. So the improvements don't just go from souping up your machine with the best weaponry, but a lot of the other intangible things like lock-on targets, which you can upgrade your eyes, or upgrading your appendages that will improve your defense, your ability to read and react, fire your weapons, or reload, and that's pretty fascinating. You also have the ability to eject yourself from the machine. First time that I can think of that's happened in this series. And that's fascinating. That makes me wonder what kind of missions are going to be in tow. It is a little funny that you, as the soldier, can, in some manners, go toe-to-toe with these near 3-story robots. But hey, that's video games for you. I play Final Fantasy games where someone punched a tank and did crit damage, so whatever that's worth. Other aspects regarding the gameplay include the frame rate. The frame rate is pretty suspect here, and it seems to dip somewhere in between, like maybe 15 and 25, barely clocked at 30, but it is a demo. Perhaps these are things that will iron themselves out. Very much like SNK Heroines, which came out on the Switch in a pretty clunky state, but after one update patch, the game ran smoothly. People yelled at me for that, because, hey, you can't criticize the Switch without somebody blocking you on Twitter, to which I say good riddance. Put me in mind of Armored Core 4 at times while playing it. The terrains are large, and they're pretty vast, and there's a lot of obstacles in the way, so you can key a strategy if you want to play defensively or evasively. The cell shading is a pretty cool look for this design. They're a little glossy and polished, and it gives this really nice, sleek look that I haven't seen from the series, and it makes the explosions look that much more violent. Like, it really pops. The explosions really pop. It's probably hard to tell with my guerrilla-style footage that I recorded here, but I intend on getting an Elgato. I need a proper capture device, so I wanted to keep doing crap like this. But with the exception of a couple of, like, muted textures in some regards, given what I assume is a pretty near-finished project of this game, I think that by the time this has reached completion, this game is going to look great, and it's probably going to be one of my favorite Nintendo Switch games. So far, this demo has not disappointed. I mean, heck, I played it for nearly an hour. Probably more. They give you a fair amount of missions to give you a good idea of what to expect. What I would like to see in some regards with the ability to exit the mech, I'd like to see something until of like maybe some civilian rescue missions, things that you can't do in your mobile suit like you could before. Like in the previous games, it was just about destroying things or defending, or maybe like or maybe like tower defending a stronghold. A lot of the missions were resorted to that. So it'd be great to see in this one if you had to escort civilians out of a location and get them to safety without having to be in the mech, and that would put more emphasis on playing as the player character, because you have some pretty cool skills as the player itself. You have this like drone thing that follows you, like if you're familiar with like Nier Automata, you have like this thing, this protocol droid that like sits over your shoulder, and that fires a lot of your weapons, and you can toss grenades, and you can fend for yourself reasonably well. The character models, again, as stated, they do look pretty nifty. I love the character design in this, because, and call me a weeb if you want, but I like Japanese-style character customization. It looks cooler than things like Dragon Age and Skyrim, where the characters just look like weird cricket bug people. I've never liked the features in Western-style character creation games. They're just bland and watery and down. So, yeah, Weebo alert for that, I guess. But hey, those are my guns that I'm sticking to. And also, if you play this game in Japanese, you might hear a couple of voices. A couple of voices might be familiar. Toru Furuya, who plays Amuro Ray in Gundam, voices one of the characters, as well as Shoichi Ikeda, who voices Char. There's even a mech, a red mech, that is an homage to Char. Awesome! So my head practically exploded there. And I do like the as I said before with the characters, I do like that they have distinct personalities amongst players. And in fact,
yeah. I was wondering the exact same thing.
Lucio.
Type of old records and data.
Either way, it's not like people still read real books nowadays.
Is that Lucio?
Just so you know, rookie, you can hit up 4 and she'll tell you anything you want to know.
I can provide any pertinent information from Orbital or the Consortium's databases. All you have to do is ask.
See? Doesn't matter if it's the latest jams or new comic books. Whatever you need, 4 will hook you up.
The guy's Lucio! he sounds just like him, almost looks like him, almost a dead ringer for him. Hey, I'm game. I'm a Lucio main in Overwatch, so another geek out moment for me. As if there's any reason for me to give this demo even higher marks, there you go. So this demo's available for a limited amount of time. I highly recommend it if you're a fan of the Armored Core series. This is the homage game that I think you've been asking for, and what I hope to be a great spiritual successor to a series that I've missed for years now. Give this a shot. Like, throw your feedback out on Twitter. Make videos about it. Make Daemon X Machina a bigger deal, because this is probably going to be one of my favorite Switch games. I'm mech biased, so of course I am, and I'll catch you next time.